After infidelity and other forms of betrayal, there is a type of jealousy that can pop up that is unique. I don't think it gets enough attention. It's the jealousy surrounding the fact that things were hidden from you. So most people will think about jealousy just as being about the other person. It's this rival, this person who took something that was yours. But what about the jealousy that you feel over secrets, over lies, over the truth that you were denied? That kind of jealousy is also incredibly common after betrayal. And it's also really misunderstood. So today we're going to break it down, what this type of jealousy actually is, why your brain and body respond this way, and most importantly, what you can do about it so that you stop feeling trapped by it. So first question, what is this kind of jealousy? When someone close to you has been keeping secrets, whether that's a partner hiding an emotional affair, a friend lying to your face, or someone that you trusted living a double life, that jealousy isn't always directed at that person or the other person. It's often directed at the truth itself. You're jealous fundamentally of the version of yourself who could have known. You're jealous of the clarity that you were robbed of. You're jealous of people who didn't have to find out like this. It shows up as a mix of anger and sadness and obsessive wondering. You replay moments, you pick apart conversations, you catch yourself thinking, if I had just known, I would have done so many things differently. So small things become triggers. A phrase that they use, the way they looked at their phone, a date on the calendar. And every time you're triggered, that wave of jealousy comes back. And sometimes it feels like it's happening now. And so why is this happening? When someone hides information from you, your brain registers it as a threat. Not a metaphorical threat, but an actual neurological danger signal. Your nervous system was built to keep you safe. Part of staying safe is having accurate information about your environment. When you discover that information has been intentionally withheld from you, or when you realize that you've been manipulated, your brain is saying, I can't trust what I thought was real. I need to re-examine everything. That is why you replay things obsessively. It's your mind trying to rebuild a map of reality that was quietly destroyed without your knowledge. So that jealous feeling is your emotional system's alarm bell. It's signaling that something important was taken from you. Your right to the truth was violated. Psychology also tells us that being excluded, being put in the out group, being left out, it activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. Being left out of information, being deceived, being shamed, being shunned, those aren't just heartache. It genuinely hurts in a physiological way, which means that the intensity that you're feeling makes perfect sense. So what are some of the ways people misunderstand this? A lot of people will suffer in silence with this kind of jealousy because they've been told, or they tell themselves, that they're just being irrational. No, like having this emotional response makes perfect sense. It feels disproportionate, but it actually is very much in line with how our bodies and our minds evolved. Perhaps you're being told that you're being too emotional, or that you should just let it go. And yes, letting go is where you want to end up, but that is not the starting point. You don't heal by just deciding that you're healed. You can't just skip the processing and the grieving and the reconstruction of what you really do believe now and just arrive at peace instantaneously. Other people will say you're overreacting, but I'd love for you to ask yourself, would someone who was given the full truth from the beginning be in this much pain? No. The pain is the direct result of the deception. And I would really question someone who wasn't hurt. If you're able to be deceived at such an existential level and walk away like everything is fine, that type of person probably doesn't value honesty. It is proof that you value honesty. It's proof that you're trying to show up honorably in the world. It's proof that you're trying to take care of yourself, that this did rattle you. All right, but what can you actually do about it? Here are a couple of specific things you can start doing today. First is name it out loud. Most people experience jealousy as this fog. It's heavy, uncomfortable, but they leave it unnamed. Naming it out loud can be the first step in breaking the fog. So say to yourself, either out loud or in writing, I feel jealous because I was denied the truth. I am grieving the version of my life I could have had if I had been told the truth. If so-and-so had been honest with me. I am grieving that version of myself. I am grieving the life that I could have had. That single action, putting specific words to the feeling, often reduces the shame around it and starts giving you agency over it. You're not just in the feeling, you're looking at it. So I would recommend pausing the video and spending just 2 minutes writing something down or saying it out loud, trying different articulations of it as well. Try to find the right words for you that capture this specific feeling. What specifically are you jealous of? The missed directions you could have made, the time you spent trusting someone who wasn't being honest with you, the version of yourself who didn't know yet. Like, get specific. The second thing that I recommend is start establishing boundaries with yourself, because not every question that you ask yourself deserves an answer. Not every question that goes into your obsessive loop is actually helping you heal. Some questions are productive. They help you understand what happened and what you need going forward. Others just keep you spinning. So what do productive questions for you to ruminate on sound like? Questions like, what do I need to feel safe in a relationship? What were the warning signs that I can learn to recognize? What do I wish that I had done differently? Those are helpful questions. Spinning questions or looping questions are things like, what were they thinking when they lied to me on that specific Tuesday 5 years ago? Or what would have been different if I had brought them flowers on this day when they were mad at me? Would that have suddenly turned everything around? Would they have finally been honest with me? Or what the fuck were they thinking? These types of questions are very different from the first category. The first category is marked by a focus on the present and the future. The spinning questions are marked by being focused on the past. The productive questions typically center you as the main character of the story. The spinning questions tend to center them as the main character of the story. And the productive questions are focused on things that you have at least some control over, whereas the spinning questions you typically have zero control over. And the productive questions are answerable, at least in principle, even if you don't know it now. Spinning questions tend to have no answer whatsoever. And so the important thing to do is to not just start asking yourself the right questions, but it's also to stop asking yourself the wrong questions. So one of the most helpful things you could ever do is start writing out all the different questions that enter your mind, and then begin crossing out the ones that you don't think actually deserve spending any more time on trying to find an answer to. Filling the page with more and more productive questions to sort of drown out the unproductive questions gets your mind thinking in the right direction. The third tip that I'll give you is to reframe some of this energy. So jealousy is a very intense emotion. It carries a lot of energy. Anger, longing, grief, these are all intense states. The question is, what are you going to do with that energy? At some point in your process, become curious. Ask yourself, what does this jealousy tell me about myself? What does this jealousy tell me about what I value? What does this jealousy tell me about what I need in a partner moving forward? If you're jealous of the truth you were denied, that tells you something important, that honesty and transparency are non-negotiable for you. That is clarity into who you are. That's clarity into future boundaries. Use that clarity. Let it inform the boundaries that you set, the relationships you choose, and the version of yourself that you're becoming on the other side of this. And I want to be super clear. If you've been carrying this feeling, wondering why it still hurts, wondering why you just can't move on, I want you to know that the intensity of what you're feeling is directly proportional to the intensity that you showed up with in the relationship. How much you cared. If you didn't care about this person, if you didn't care about the relationship, you would not be hurting this way. And I personally believe that the person who loves more is the person who wins. It is not a flaw to be the bigger person. It is not a flaw to have a bigger heart. Yes, there's more emotion and pain to carry as a consequence. But when you find the right person, the right situation, you have the right boundaries in place, all of that, which sounds like a lot right now, I understand that. But when the dots actually do connect, you will be the kind of person that can experience a depth of love and connection that people who hide and betray just won't ever be able to comprehend. Healing from this kind of jealousy is not about erasing the past. It's not about pretending the betrayal didn't happen. It's about reclaiming your sense of reality, your trust in yourself, and your right to build a life on honesty. The truth that was hidden from you mattered, even if it feels to other people like it was inconsequential. Access to the truth matters. Your feelings of being betrayed and feeling jealous for being denied that truth are valid. If any of this resonates with you, if you recognize yourself in these patterns and you're ready to stop spinning and start actually healing, the next step is to get some real support around it. There's a big difference between understanding something intellectually and being guided and doing the deep work to move through it. The things that I laid out in this video are scratching the surface. I work with people who are stuck where you are right now. Smart, self-aware, they understand the outline of the problem, but it's like they can't fully get themselves out of it on their own. If you're curious about what that would look like, feel free to book a call with me. It's completely free. We'll talk about your situation, explore whether it might make sense to work together, because you deserve more than surviving this. You deserve to actually come out the other side of it.